Is it working? Yep. Okay. Hello everyone. How are you? How are you all doing? Hello everyone. Welcome to Deeksha Vedantu CBSE English. I'm your Aditi Mam, and today we are going to see a very interesting and very important live of the chapter How Forces Affects Motion. This is your new NCERT, so a little bit different, a little bit tricky, although this chapter is not much different than the last previous one, right? But since in this you can clearly see how forces affect motion, so motion has a big role in this chapter. How force and motion are related. We are going to start with force, okay, and how this force will affect the motion, Newton laws of motion and all that. And you tell me first if I'm audible and visible properly. I'm visible properly. Let me know if I am audible. Let me just check in a second. Okay, ma'am, you are audible. Great. Done. Am I audible to everyone? Okay, great. Now beta, in this particular chapter we are going to start with force. Okay, so I know you guys have studied force in your 8th class actually, right? Force, push and pull, the magic of push and pull, right? That's why I repeated the same line in your class 9th also, so you can feel a little familiar, correct? So beta, what is this force? Can you guys tell me, what do you think? What do you think this force is? I give this very relatable example. Actually, it's my story. So there was this one June evening, like I guess 10 years before. Me and my mom was sleeping peacefully after a hectic week, and me and my brother were just starting fighting. Okay, he just pushed on my shoulder, grabbed my hairs, and I did the same, obviously. But what were we doing? We were pushing and pulling. He was pulling my hairs, I was pushing him, and all that stuff. And what actually was that? That was force. Well, actually he was a lot smaller than me, 10 years from before. Now he's like 6 feet, so I can't really do that. I can't really push him away, okay, but whatever. So actually this is what force, and we can happily and clearly say that now my brother has more power than me, and he has more force. He can push me with more force than I can push him. Clear, right? So that's how basically things are settled on the topic of force. But we don't have to study force in this chapter. We have to study how this force actually affects the motion of things, motion of your car, motion of your boat, motion of anything literally on this, in this whole world, in this whole universe. Okay, so beta, we will start with the very first thing, that is your force. But before that, what is force? That is your push and pull, simply, right? But which of these is a push or an example of push or an example of pull? You tell me, is this guy pushing or pulling the cart, or is this bacha, this kid, pushing or pulling the cart? You guys tell me. Let me know if these people, they are pushing the cart or they are actually pulling the cart. So basically, how we see this whole scenario, ma'am, actually the point is, when we push something, it typically goes away from us. When we push something, it has to go away from us, and that's the basic definition of push as well. So going away, is this going away? Is this cart going away? When you go for shopping in a mall, okay, you are buying all the groceries and all the weird stuff that you guys eat. I also eat. But you are pushing that cart away, right? Hi Ved Prakash. Hi Ved Prakash Pathak. How are you, Pathak ji? Okay, so this is what pushing means. Done, beta. Okay, so let me know how many of you guys actually have this chapter in your PT tests? How many of you actually have this chapter in your PT test, so that I can have a basic idea of how many of you are actually looking for a genuine questions and answers? Okay, A is pushing. Okay, everything is saying A is pushing. Great. Now B is what? B is pushing or pulling? B is pulling. Great, because it is coming towards you. It is coming towards you. That's the basic definition of your force, your push and pull. Done. So basically, push beta is something to move away from you, and pulling is to move something towards you. When something is coming towards you and you are applying force on it, you are pulling it, then you are pulling it, then it's a pull. But if you are applying force and it's going away from you, okay, then it is called pushing. Done. The basic definition of push and pull. After that, beta, this is the very small thing. Now you tell me, I have a question for you. A very basic question. Okay, just use your common sense. You don't have to use the basics of chapter force only. Just use your common sense. Will the force by the goalkeeper, you all are watching FIFA, I guess. What is going on? World Cup is going on, I don't know, but something football related is going on, right? So will the force by the goalkeeper move, stop, or change the ball's direction? What will happen? There is a ball coming towards me. I'm the goalie. So what will I do? I will try to stop that ball. What are the chances? What can happen? Will I move the ball away? Will I keep the ball with me? Will I push it away? Will I fail and let the goal happen? Okay, what will happen? Good afternoon, Amita Sharma. Good afternoon. Actually, it's good evening, but whatever, good afternoon. If my kids say it's good afternoon, it is good afternoon. Okay, so what will happen? Will the force by the goalkeeper move, stop, or change the ball's direction? What we are doing, Amita, we are basically doing the chapter force and I am hoping a lot of you are starting your class tests, your PTs, whatever your term test you call it. So all these things we are covering in this chapter from the very basic, and you can say, if you are here to clear your backlogs as well, these are what we are doing. You can clear your backlogs, you can practice questions, you can clear your concepts. Everything is covered in this chapter. Now, answer me this question. Cricket India is also saying good afternoon. Okay, good afternoon. Hi, Ritu Raj. How are you? Ritu Raj. Okay, answer me. Will the force by the goalkeeper move, stop, or change the ball's direction? Ma'am, it can do all these, right? If I am a goalie, if I push the ball away, then the direction of the ball is changing. It is coming towards me, I pushed it away, now it is going back. So direction is changed, right? Then if I keep the ball with me, if I hold the ball, I'll keep the ball with me, the ball will stop, right? The ball will stop. So, and if I am failed to keep the ball with me or change its direction, the goal, there it will be a goal, right? So the force, what did it do? It changed the direction of the ball. It stopped the ball going into the goal, right? So all these things are beta what? I applied what to stop the ball, to change the direction of the ball? I applied force, and that beta is exactly what we are going to study today. Okay, now what it did, it changed the direction, it changed the motion of the ball. Now we studied in describing motion around us that changing the motion, in the motion everything is included, the speed, the velocity, the acceleration, the direction. So when I say I changed the direction, I am saying that motion is changed, right? The motion of this ball is changed, right? So this force actually changed the direction, changed the motion, stopped the ball, made it move. Now I have to give it back, I'll throw the ball back. Okay, so all these are doing what? They are, I am applying the force that on that ball. Okay, yes, Amita, actually the class is 2-day SSTs, 2-day math, 2-day science. Okay, that's the format for now. We are going on. As we go further, we'll increase the frequency near your boards, near your examination, since it's a little bit chill time now. So we are typically going with this frequency. Wednesday and Thursday are science, Monday, Tuesday is math, then Friday, Saturday is SST. Okay, hello, good evening, computer lab. Yes, okay. Now let's move on to the actual topic, that is, what is force? What is force? Anyone wants to exactly, okay, definition is here basically, but can you explain from the feeling, what do you feel when you hear the word force? When you hear the word force, you feel something powerful, okay? You feel something that is going to push you away or pull you away, right? Just like I told my story of my brother, okay? So we were fighting, pulling each other's hair, pushing each other away. So who will win? Who is more powerful? Who has more force? So force, sometimes or something, we associate this force with power, okay? And it is somehow related as well, but that's not the case today. We are not going to study about power. We are going to study about force. Now, beta, in very simpler terms, we have studied in 8th class as well. Force is a basic push or pull that can change an object, that can cause an object to move or stop or change its direction. Just like there was a ball coming towards me. If I am a goalie, I'll try to stop that ball, okay? And I'll have to give that ball back to the players. So I'll kick the ball back. So I gave it motion, and I changed the, if I push that ball away, instead of holding it, I changed its direction, right? So all this comprises of push and pull, that is changing the direction of the object or direction of motion of that object. It is probably stopping the object from moving, or it is moving the stopped or the object at rest. It is moving that object. Done. Now let's study a little bit of your science part, a little bit of your physics part. Okay, now again let's move back to circle back to the previous chapter. What is that? Describing motion around us. Ma'am, we studied a very important concept in describing motion around us was what? Vector and scalar. Now what was it? Do you remember? What is scalar? What is vector? Do you guys remember that? So basically, beta, we studied that this scalar simply has a magnitude. It simply has a magnitude, and it does not have a direction. When I write 5 meters or 5 kilometers, it is simply your magnitude, simple value. Okay, but beta, in vector we have magnitude plus direction. Magnitude plus direction. So if I write 5 meters towards left, then this whole term is not simply scalar, it is a vector. Okay, ma'am, when you will teach the chapter structure of atom, and you can call me Muslim Hussein. Okay, Hussein, yes, alpha, hi alpha. Yes, I will explain balanced forces, Amita, in this lecture only, don't worry. Okay, just understand the basic first, then we'll understand balanced forces as well. Yes, so we were saying structure of atom. Basically the name has changed, right? Journey inside the atom. Beta, it is already uploaded on the channel, the one shot, and I have also taken the live of it as well. I came live the last week, I guess, the last week. So you can go watch that. Live is also available. Recorded session is also available. So you can go watch those sessions as well. Okay, everything is available on the channel. Just go and check out the channel, and you come back and you let me know what you want. Okay, after, just go through the channel, go through all the videos. There are small videos as well where I've just explained some theories, atomic theories. Okay, all the scientists that came, just that single video for like 20-25 minutes. So everything is done, everything is there on the channel. Go look at it and come back and let me know if you want something else. Done? Make sense? Okay, now this is the basic structure of magnitude and vector. Now beta, before we jump on to what force is, Is it a scalar? Is it a vector? Let me tell you a very important formula of force that actually comes in the second law of motion, but you have to know it right now, and you have known it from your 8th class as well, right? Mass force is mass into acceleration. Now from here we will decipher if this force is a vector or a scalar. What is? You tell me. Do you have an answer? What is force? Vector or scalar? Let me know fast. Okay, so beta, now we see that this force equals to mass into acceleration. When I write this down, this dot, it typically means a cross sign, a multiply sign. Okay, so beta, now you remember describing motion around us. We studied speed, right? We studied speed, and with the speed we studied one more thing, that is your velocity. Now velocity was having direction. So velocity beta was a vector quantity. Velocity was a vector quantity. Speed on the other hand was a scalar quantity. And what is the formula of acceleration? What is the formula of acceleration? See, how you build it from the basic is what you have to learn in your 9th and 10th class. I can directly tell you what force is, scalar or vector. But how will you understand these? How will you learn to think? Is exactly what I'm telling you right now. What is this? Mass into acceleration. Ma'am, we studied acceleration in motion. We studied speed and velocity. Okay, speed is scalar, velocity is vector. Now ma'am, I ring a bell if I revised that acceleration is change in velocity. It is change in velocity per unit, change in velocity per unit time. Okay, now ma'am, velocity is vector. If velocity is vector and acceleration has velocity, acceleration depends on velocity, then acceleration will also be vector. So acceleration is also vector. Now ma'am, acceleration is vector, then force depends on acceleration. So force beta, force will also be a vector quantity. It will also be a vector quantity. Understood how we reached here? We started from velocity. Velocity is a vector quantity. Acceleration, because there is an acceleration in force. Acceleration is change in velocity per unit time. Velocity is actually a vector quantity. If velocity is vector, acceleration is vector. If acceleration is vector, then force will also be a vector quantity. Understood? Everyone? Any doubt till now? Any doubt about the magnitude, about the vector, about anything? You let me know. Okay? Okay. Moving on beta. Now coming back to force. So force is simply a push or pull that can cause the change in direction of an object. It can move the object or stop the object. Done? Now beta, it is a vector quantity. We have seen completely how we reached to the conclusion that force is actually a vector quantity. Done? Now beta, to describe it fully, that means we need its magnitude and direction as well. No ma'am, great. So that means every time you have to tell the force that I am pushing. Pushing means what? We studied from the starting that even push and pull has directions. Pushing means it is going away. It is going away. There is a direction. It is coming towards you. That is pulling. That is a direction. Right? So going back to force, we have to have magnitude as well as direction to quickly and completely describe what exactly a force is. Okay? Done? Very good. Now beta, SI unit. Now again, everyone do pranam to Newton G again, because Newton G will not leave your rasta till the end of life. Okay, you will not leave your soul if you take science till the end of your life. Okay, so beta, actually this whole force, I told you, this force F equals to ma. Okay, F equals to m into a. It is actually given by our very own Newton G. Done? So that's why we call the unit of force as Newton, as an honor to our Isaac Newton sir. Okay, done. So you have to remember three things here. First, your definition. Second, that it's a vector quantity. And third, its unit is Newton. And actually fourth, that is your this formula, force equal to mass into acceleration. I am assuming that you all know this definition from your 8th class. Done. And there is a very cute picture of tug of war, which I hope all of you have played in your life. Okay, so that is basically this person is pulling the rope towards him, applying force. This person pulling the force towards him, applying the force. Whoever has more power, whoever applies more force will simply win. Done. Great. Next, beta, moving on to after what exactly force is, we come to a very important point, that is your balanced forces. Okay, now before I tell you the definition, there is a packet of chocolate in your house. It is a packet of chocolate in your house. Done. And your little brother, or let's say you are twins. Okay, you are both twins and you have same force. You have same force or same power. You are equally powerful. Okay, and you are like, you are fighting. I want this chocolate, I want this chocolate. There is only one chocolate. So you are pulling this packet away from this side. You are pulling this chocolate packet away from this side, and your twin is pulling this chocolate packet on the other side, from the other side. What will happen? You have same power. You are applying same force. What will happen? Ma'am, this chocolate, it will move. Sometimes on my side, sometimes on his side, but technically overall it will not move anywhere because I am applying the same force. He is also applying the same force, right? We are equally powerful. So if we are pulling the chocolate on this side, he is pulling the chocolate towards him. How will this chocolate won't go to any one single person. Yes. So beta, this is actually your balanced force. Balanced force. That means in balanced force, generally you can say that there is no motion for now. I'm telling you, this is just for now. It is exactly not the case. In this case there is no motion, and eventually the chocolate packet might get teared up. Okay, example of force, kicking a football. Okay, that's a balanced force, you are saying, Amita? Example of force kicking a football. You explain it to me a little bit. Okay. Hi Anju Kumari. Hello, how are you? All of you people are here. Let me know if this chapter will come in your term test or PT test or not. Okay, I need some data, so as to what to teach you and what not. Okay, let me know if this chapter, how forces affect motion, is coming in your this term test, PT, or whatever you call this, FAQs, FA. Okay, so beta, here you have same force. So what is happening here? See, we are applying force of, we are applying, you and your twin are applying a force of equal magnitude. That means you are also, let's say, pulling this chocolate with a force of 10 Newton, but on your left hand side, your twin is also pulling the chocolate, but on right hand side with 10 Newton. Okay, so beta, they are equal magnitude, 10 Newton, and but they have opposite directions. Done. So basically, what is a balanced force? Ma'am, a balanced force is applied on a body with equal magnitude. See, when a body, there are two forces applied on that body which are equal in magnitude but are opposite in directions, and hence this force, the overall net force, is called balanced forces. Okay. What was in part 2? Acha, in PT test 2. Okay, in PT test 2 you will be having this particular chapter. Okay, great. So we are learning it slowly, don't worry. Okay, let's read this particular thing. Now beta, balanced forces. Forces are balanced when two forces acting on an object are of the same size, 10 Newton, see, are of the same size, 10 Newton, right? act in opposite directions. So they are basically acting in the opposite direction. Understood? In this scenario, the net force is 0. So there is a books placed on a table, right? Now beta, these books are not falling down. These books are not falling down. Now here you can learn a very good concept. You must have learned it, that anything that exists on this whole earth is pulled towards the center of the earth. That is your gravitational force, and it is equal to the weight or mass of that body into acceleration due to gravity. So on this book that is placed on the table, the book want to go down with the force of mass into acceleration due to gravity, that is your m into g, and this is your force due to the gravity. Done? But they are not moving. They are not moving. There is no motion. On this book, there is no motion, right? That is because, there is a normal force acting. Sorry. Oh, your school teacher also started this chapter. Okay. Ma'am, can you explain between periodic and oscillatory motion? Yes, Anju Kumari. Give me 2 minutes. Give me 2 minutes. I'll explain after this balanced and unbalanced topic. Done? Okay. Okay, this has started in your schools as well. Great, great. Then perfect timing. Okay. Now, these books, they want to go down so badly. They don't want to stay on the table. They want to go inside the earth if they can actually, right? So the earth, this is our earth. The earth is pulling these books towards it with the force of m into g, but they are not going. That means something is opposing this force. Something is opposing this force. That beta is basically your normal force acting perpendicularly upwards from that particular surface area. So this normal force is acting, it's cancelling this mg. This normal force is cancelling this mg. That's why books are not moving. Just like your twin was cancelling your force, both were in opposite direction, both were equal in magnitude. So this is also equal in magnitude. This normal is equal in magnitude to this mg, and these two are in opposite directions, equal in magnitude, so they are cancelling each other out. Okay? Arnav. Okay, Arnav. Done. Okay, so balanced force is clear. There is a normal force acting upwards and there is a gravitational force acting downwards. Both are 15 Newton, so they cancel each other out because they are also in the opposite directions. Done? Ishwari. Hi, hello Ishwari. So the net force beta is the total force on this book. See, one force is downwards, so you can say down force is there. One force is upwards, but the total force on this whole system is 0. Okay, the net force that we call net force, that's the average force, net force, total force, overall force acting on an object when two or more forces are combined. So this net force is 0. What is net force? On a single object, there can be so many forces acting on it, right? If you add all the forces, that is your net force. Okay? Ishwari, I'm a class 10 student. Okay, great Ishwari. Do you remember this chapter? Force. How is your class 10th going? Your PTs are also getting started, right? So are you getting nervous or are you fully prepared? Okay. All of you guys, whoever of you, subscribe this channel right now because we are coming live every day with so many questions, so many concepts clearing. If you have any doubt, you can ask in these live sessions. Also, and there are so many one-shots, so many videos getting uploaded on the channel. So make sure you subscribe this channel and go like the session first. Fast. Like the session. Jaldi. Okay. It's a bit hard. Yeah, it can be a little bit tough. All the juniors, listen up. 10th can be a little bit tough, so don't take it lightly. But it's fine, Ishwari. We have just started. You're just coming back from summer vacations. If you start today only, you can cover. Okay? Best reference book for class 9 science. Beta, for now, for this starting na, just focus on NCERT. Just focus. My true advice, if you want, just focus on NCERT. If you are done with NCERT, then we will see other books as well, but now is not the time. Okay. Or you can go for Oswald if you actually want to. Then in the market, Oswald is a good one. Okay. Vedantu also has so many books. I guess I'll ask them to put a description in here. There are so many books, but my suggestion for you right now is just stick with NCERT. Okay. Ishwari, if you have any doubt, you can come in the live sessions or ask in the comment sections. Okay. Yes, see, your seniors are also saying, even I did NCERT. Just focus on NCERT. You want more questions, you can come in the live sessions, bacha. Okay, I can get you. Right now we are focusing on concepts. That is the first part. Okay, that's the one main thing we say, but don't deviate right now from NCERT. If you do so many questions, you will probably not be able to understand the concepts properly. Okay, you do it, that's on you. There are so many books in the market. There are Vedantu books. I'll ask them to put their link in the description. Okay, you can go check those out. Those are really good. There will be summary of the whole chapter and there will be so many questions as well. Okay, let's move on to unbalanced forces. Now you can clearly see what will be unbalanced forces. One force will be greater, one force will be less, right? Now imagine, beta, this we had this example, right? You and your twin. Now I'll give you example of me, personally example. Okay, personal example. What will be that? This was me when we were kids, and this was my brother, small Chotu, and we had a chocolate, so I'll just give him a tapli and on his head and I'll get the chocolate, right? Now he's 6 feet tall and I am definitely not. So now I am the same and he got this big. Okay, so now the situation is reverse. Okay, situation is opposite. So he can get the chocolate whenever you want. I can't fight him. Okay, so now why he can get the chocolate, or why earlier I used to get the chocolate? That was because the situation is same. We are still pulling the chocolates. That time we were still pulling the chocolates. I wanted. Okay. But beta, in here I was applying more force. Okay. And he was small. He was applying less force. Let's say I was applying 15 Newton in this direction and he was very chotu, so he was just applying 10 Newton. So you just use your common sense and tell me who will get the chocolate. This is your Aditi Mam. And this is my brother. Okay, his name is actually Aditya. So who will get the chocolate? I will get the chocolate or he will get the chocolate? 15 Newton force, 10 Newton force. Just use your common sense. Don't even use all the topic of your force and what. So who will get the chocolate? Of course, I will get the chocolate, right? Correct. Because why? Now if we are pulling, I am pulling on this side 15 Newton. He is pulling on this side 10 Newton. So the chocolate will go to the bigger force side. Okay. So what will eventually happen? Beta, that the net force, now we are talking about net force. I am pulling with a greater force, so eventually the chocolate will go on this side with 5 Newton net force. 5 Newton net force. Why? If I break this force down into 10 Newton plus 5 Newton. Okay, 10 Newton plus 5 Newton. This 10 Newton will cancel this 10 Newton out. Excess 5 Newton, the chocolate, I will get the chocolate. Done. Now, this situation is exactly the reverse. So, what will happen? This 5 Newton bigger force minus your small force 10 Newton, and the exact force beta will be 5 Newton, and that is your unbalanced force. Why? Because the net force is not equal to 0 now, whereas in case of balanced forces, the net force was 0. But now here the net force beta, it is not 0, it has some value. Okay, correct. Aditi Mam will get the chocolate. Done. So beta, let's see the definition quickly. This is unbalanced forces. You are pushing a big box, and if it is moving, that means you are applying a 200 Newton force, okay, and there is a friction of just 100 Newton. So this box will move on this direction with a net force of 100 Newton. I'll come back to friction, don't worry. Okay, I'll come back to friction in few seconds, don't worry. Okay. We can say that forces are unbalanced when two or more forces acting on an object, your chocolate, are not equal in size. This is, one is 50 Newton, one is 10 Newton. They are definitely not equal in size. This means that the net force is no longer zero. Unbalanced forces cause changes in the motion of an object. Now, there was an unbalanced force on the chocolate. Unbalanced force on the chocolate. So, chocolate moved towards me. Chocolate moved towards me. That means friction caused motion. Understood? What happened? Friction caused motion. And that is the main aim of this chapter. Until here, if you guys have any doubt, let me know. We have completed your force. What is force? Unbalanced force and balanced forces. Okay, beta? Now, this is just a random example I got. You are playing tug of war, okay, and your opponent is applying a force of 8 units, or you can also write 8 Newton, and you are also applying 8 Newton in the opposite direction. So, this will be a balanced force. This point will no longer move in any direction, but your opponent is just applying 5 Newton. He's a kid and you are very powerful. You are applying 9 Newton. This is 9 Newton. This is 5 Newton. So what will happen? You will take the rope with a net force of 4 Newton. What will be the net force in this case? Ma'am, bigger force 9 Newton minus my smaller force 5 Newton. So 4 Newton on the right hand side. Understood? Net force. Understood? Any doubt in here? Hi Sanjana. Yes, I do remember you. Hello, bacha. How are you? How is your preparation going? Aru Hirani. Hi, hello Aru Hirani. Yes. So, Sanjana beta, we are just starting the chapter force. We did the basic definition of force, okay? So, force is simply a push or pull that changes the motion of an object. It stops the object if it is moving, or it can change its direction. Simple 8th class topic. Then beta, we have a very important thing, that force is a vector quantity. Why? Force is equal to mass into acceleration. Acceleration was change in velocity upon time. Now velocity was vector. We all remember that. If velocity is vector, acceleration is vector. If acceleration is vector, force is vector. So force is a vector quantity. That means we need both magnitude and direction to describe it fully. And also, what is the unit of force? It is beta Newton on our very own Sir Isaac Newton. Done? Then beta, I was explaining balanced forces, unbalanced forces. Any object on which there are so many forces, but it is not moving, or it is not changing its direction. It is simply moving, but it's not speeding up or slowing down or anything. There is no change in its motion. Then it is called balanced force. Net force is 0. If there is, however, a change in motion, you are pushing a box and it's moving. So that is an unbalanced force. Okay? Done with this? Okay, now we had a small doubt from someone that what is the difference between periodic motion and oscillatory motion. Periodic motion and oscillatory motion. Okay, I don't think you have these topics in your 9th and 10th class. However, I'm not really sure. But anyone here who actually wants to tell me if they know what is the difference between periodic motion and your just give me a second. Okay, yeah. So, beta, periodic motion, as you can see, it happens after a certain period of time. It will happen after a particular particular period of time. Period of time. So that means the revolving of earth towards our sun, around our sun, right? It is continuously revolving around our sun, and it has a periodic motion. That means it has a specific time in which it completes its period or complete its motion. That is your 365 days, right? And once a leap year, but typically 365, 366 days. So it is continuously doing the same kind of motion. It is continuously doing the same kind of motion in that period of time. Okay, so this is periodic motion. Oscillatory, beta, you have seen pendulums, right? So this is your pendulum, okay? Or you must have some vintage watches in your home. So this pendulum goes like this. It goes here and it reaches its extreme position, we call it, and then it will come back and reaches this position, then it will go back, right? So beta, this is oscillatory position, motion. Okay, it is oscillating. It is oscillating about a mean position. This is called your mean position. So it is oscillating about a mean position. It goes to an extreme position, and it comes back to another extreme position, and it comes back to mean position. So this whole motion is called your oscillating motion. Done? The periodic motion can be an oscillatory motion. See, there is a phrase I remember, every oscillatory motion is a periodic motion, but every periodic motion is not an oscillatory motion, because this is not revolving, this is not oscillating about a mean point. Okay, it is not going like this, the earth. It is completing a full circle, but in a particular time, in a particular period of time. That means it has a periodic motion. Done? Okay. Oscillatory motion will move back and forth. So this is your back and forth motion. Periodic motion may move back and forth. This is also periodic motion, but this is not an oscillatory motion. Done? Understood? Okay, let's move to the topic, beta. Net force we are done. Okay, let's do this question, but I already have the answer here. Okay, how many of you can let me know the answer to this particular question? I will remove it from here. Why is it not getting filled? Oh, this is on the front. How will I don't know. Okay, just make sure that you don't look at these answers. Okay? Okay, fine. Now, beta, we have a very important numerical which will actually clear all your concepts, okay, on how to see the net force on a particular object. Two forces of 10 Newton and 6 Newton act on a block. Find the net force in each case. How will we do? We simply add the forces, but we take care of the direction. See, if the force is in this direction, this is 10 Newton, and the force is in this direction, that is 6 Newton. So, beta, one of this will be taken as negative. If you take this is plus 6 Newton, then this will be minus. However, we do it the other way. This is plus 10 Newton, right hand side, minus 6 Newton, left hand side. Okay, this is we do for convention of signs. Done? Yes, your answer is correct, Sanjana. Great. Periodic motion repeats itself in equal intervals of time. Oscillatory motion is a specific type of periodic motion when an object moves back and forth repeatedly about a fixed mean or equilibrium. Very great, computer lab. What was your name? I forgot. So sorry. I'm so sorry. I have to remember lots of things, beta. Okay. Now, let's look at the first block. Okay, beta. This is 10 Newton in right hand side. This is also 6 Newton in right hand side. What do you think will happen? You are, for God knows what reason, or somehow every time something happens, there is a car, your car got stuck and you can't turn it on and everything. Now your father and you, your brother, everyone is pushing the car in a certain direction. Okay, so it is like all of you are applying the force in a one direction, not the opposite, one direction, right? So it is, you are applying force, your father is applying force of 10 Newton, you are applying force of 6 Newton. So will it help your father when you apply that force in the same direction, or will it help your father when you apply from the opposite side? When you apply it from the opposite side, will that be helpful, or when you apply in the direction of the force on which your father is applying the force, will that be helpful? Of course, ma'am. If we both apply the force in the same direction, that will be better, that will be helpful, right? So that means your forces are adding up. Your forces are adding up, right? So basically here also, if they have same direction, your force, these forces beta will be adding up. These forces, why am I taking this? Yes, these forces beta, they will be adding up. We will do the calculation by ourselves. Okay. So both of these forces, 10 Newton plus 6 Newton, they will be simply adding up. Okay, and this will be 16 Newton on which side? On right hand side. So you can write or describe with this arrow as well. Okay, Vicky. Okay, Vicky. Done. Okay, now let's look at the other option. Now you're like, no, I don't want to help my dad. I want to increase his work. Okay, so what do? He is pushing the car in one direction, you are pushing the car in another direction, in the opposite direction, and then you'll get a tupply on your head. But for now, let's say your father is applying 10 Newton on this direction, this is your father, and you are on the other hand applying the force in the opposite direction, this is you, the son or the daughter, whoever. Okay, so what will happen? Your force will not add up right now. Your force will not add up, correct? They will cancel each other out. How do you see this now? Now beta, there are two options to understand this. See, can I write this 10 Newton as 6 Newton plus 4 Newton? So this 6 Newton is in this direction, this force is also, 4 Newton is also in this direction. How we saw in the last example, this 6 Newton is in the opposite direction. So this 6 Newton and this 6 Newton are kind of balancing each other. They are equal in magnitude, opposite in direction. So they will cancel each other out. What is left? This 4 Newton is left. So 4 Newton is left in the right hand side. This beta is your net force. How to write it properly in a physical way, in a mathematical way? That is your bigger force. What is that? Is your bigger force. Okay, that beta is your bigger force. That is your 10 Newton minus, because 6 is in the opposite direction, minus 6 Newton. That will be your 4 Newton in the right hand side. Understood? Clear, everyone? Clear? Now similarly, this case, now this is easy. Okay, now this is a little bit tricky and easy and whatever. Now there are two ways you can use the directions. You can use the negative signs or you can just use the direction. See beta, negative sign we use just for our convenience to see the direction. Okay, now here we don't need a negative sign because we already have these arrows, right? If their arrows were not there, we would be saying a negative sign. We'll see in the future, don't worry. Right now, just focus on this. 10 Newton is in this direction, 10 Newton is this direction, 6 Newton is in this direction. Now your father is like, okay, you are doing masti with me. Now you try to oppose me. Now you are pushing the car, but on the other hand side, he is pushing the car in the opposite direction. Pushing the car in the opposite direction, what will happen? The car will start moving towards you because obviously he is more powerful than you. Okay, so what will happen? Again, you will do the same kind of calculation. You will write the bigger force 10 Newton. You will minus the smaller force. Why? Because it is in the opposite direction. Minus 6 Newton. Again, it will be 4 Newton. So, ma'am, these are same. These are same. But now, what will be the direction of the arrow? What will be the direction of the arrow? It will be on the left hand side. Okay. Similarly, 6 Newton plus 4 Newton. This 6 Newton and this 6 Newton cancels out. 4 Newton on this side is your answer. Okay. Same. Ma'am, nice. Understood, ma'am. Great. Lakshmi Gopal. Adi Lakshmi Gopal. Okay. Great. Ma'am, when class will be over? Are you already tired? It will be over by 10 o'clock. No, it will be not. It will be over in just 10 minutes. Okay, don't worry. So today we are just looking at the basic of these forces. I know this topic must have been just started in your class, so we will not get so much burden. It is just the starting. Don't worry. You focus on your backlogs. Any one of you has backlogs, you let me know, because according to that we will plan your future sessions, your future lives, your future one shots. Right? So you let me know if you guys have some backlogs. It's fine. Everybody has backlogs. I had backlogs. So don't worry. Just let me know that what do you want. Do you guys want the previous sessions, or you want me to continue the chapters after this? What do you want? Have you guys completed your backlogs, or these are still pending? What's happening? Let me know. Let me know. Okay. I guess we will do the session till now only. Okay, till this here you are clear with balanced forces, unbalanced forces, the definition of force. If you have any doubt, you can just ask me right now. Okay, I am in this live session right now. You can just ask these doubts. Now after that we will do a very important topic, that is your spring balance. Okay, we'll do in the next class a very important topic, that is your spring balance. Ma'am, when will be your next class? That will be next week, hopefully. Okay, done? Okay, great. So is this, whoever told me that this is in your PT2, all the other people, do let me know, will this chapter come in your PT exams? This how forces affect motion, will this chapter be coming in your PT exams or not? Come on. So I'm trying to understand, okay, what's going on in your schools and all your life, physics life, science life. Okay, so do tell me. This is pending. What is pending? What did I ask? This chapter is pending. Okay, this chapter is pending. But will it be in your PT tests or not? In your PT1, PT2, when will this chapter be coming in your exams? Okay. No worries. So basically I'm getting the idea that this chapter is for PT2. They have saved this chapter for PT2, right? So you guys must be a little bit thankful to your school. Okay. So let's just get the overview and we'll complete the live session for today. We started with the basic definition of push and pull, right? Then beta, push is just something moving away from you. Pull is something moving towards you. Done? That is it. Then this is the basic question. If a goalie is there, he's trying to either stop the ball, he will either push the ball away, change the direction. First it was coming, then it will be going away, and either he can just, when he will give the ball back to the players, he will kick the ball. He had stopped the ball, now the ball is at rest, he will give it a motion. Done? So now after that we simply studied about scalar and vector. You have studied that. Force is a very important thing that we studied. It is simply beta a push and pull that can cause an object to move, change its direction or stop altogether. Then we saw a very important formula, F equals to m into a. Now beta, a describing motion around us. Acceleration is velocity upon time. So velocity was what? Vector or scalar? It was vector. If velocity is vector, acceleration is vector. Acceleration is vector. Then from that your force will also be vector. What is the SI unit of your force? Ma'am, SI unit of force will be Newton on our Newton Baba. Okay, next beta we studied about a very important thing, that is your balanced forces. How did we study? That you and your brother are applying same force on a packet of chocolate. You also want it, he also wants it. So you are pulling your side, he is pulling it away from you on the other side. Both of you have a force of 10 Newton, 10 Newton. But since they have same magnitude, opposite direction, they will cancel out and the net force will be 0. So basically a balanced force, the exact definition of balanced force is what? Any object on which net force is 0. Any object on which net force is 0, it is called your balanced force. And basically all the forces on that object are balanced, have same magnitude in opposite direction. It can be a balanced force. All the forces on that object are 0. The net force is 0. That is your balanced force. Newton. Yes. Then beta, moving on to unbalanced forces. Unbalanced forces, now your twin has gotten bigger or you are bigger, so you will apply more force. You will apply 15 Newton, he is only applying 10 Newton. So out of this 15, 10 will be cancelled with your friend or with your brother. Okay, this 5 extra is you are 5 Newton more powerful than your brother. You are applying 5 Newton more force than your brother. So you will get the chocolate. So how do you calculate this? Larger force minus smaller force, you will get the net force. If they are in opposite direction, if the forces are in same direction beta, they will add up. They will not get minus, they will add up. Okay, yes, the Lakshmi, yes, sorry, I will give you the PDF. There will be a link in the description right after this live session. Also, the one shot of this chapter is already uploaded on the channel. There is a link in that description as well. If you want right now, you can get the link right now. Okay, in this live session the link will be available in few minutes or hours. Okay, so this was your unbalanced force. This was your unbalanced force. Now here net force is not 0. In balanced forces net force was 0. In here net force is not 0. So unbalanced forces, net force beta is no longer 0. Unbalanced force. Now because of this, because of all this unbalanced force, the chocolate packet moved. Earlier the chocolate packet didn't move, you were applying same force, but now chocolate packet moved and it moved towards you. So this unbalanced force or this force gave a motion to your object. Done beta. So this is the whole criteria of balanced and unbalanced forces, and net force means the total force acting on an object after combining all the forces on this block. We know we are pushing it in the forward direction. That is your applied force. That is your applied force. But there is also friction. We will study about it. Don't worry. We have studied about it in class 10th. So this friction is in opposite side. So adding all these two will be your net force. Done? Okay. Very good. So we did this numerical as well, that you can see. Now beta, that is it for this live session. Like the session fast, all of you who are here, like the session and subscribe to the channel. We will cover all the PYQs, repeated questions, new questions that CBSE can throw just like it did in 2026. Okay, so don't worry, we will do everything on this channel. So make sure you subscribe this channel, like this session, and I will meet you in the next live very soon. Okay beta, tata, bye bye.